for you to go beast mode, king of the jungle, cause you're an animal. Time for you to go overload, eat your competition alive, cause you an animal. What's my competition? Only me. Go head to head with my enemies and smash them to smithereens. Calisthenics burning calories, bring that fire ready to blow up, now we're the kerosene. You're a fighter, never gonna give up, never gonna back down. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Welcome in to the Friday Night Blitz. Tyler Cass, joined as always by Nick Luttrell. We got week 0 all the way through week 10. That's all that passed. Welcome to the playoffs.
Finally playoff time. Like, all those games meant something to get to this point, but now it just means something a little extra. If teams that if they lost tonight, the season is over with, so it makes it that much more fun. And we talk about fun games, we always got to talk about our game of the week. In the Class 5A, it's been chaos all season long. We've set up for a pretty exciting 5A playoff bracket and a pretty exciting game of the week tonight between Lakeside and Searcy, a game that will be pretty exciting. That felt like a semifinal type of game, according to Lions head coach Zach Clark. And it looked like it early and often. First drive of the game, Wally Walcott to Drew Morgan, 7-0 Rams. Very next drive, it's the Lions' turn. Jacob Miles to a wide open Will Manning. He speeds his way into the end zone, 7-7. We are all tied up. A little later, Miles again, this time kind of forcing a pass. It's picked off by Doak Douglas. He intercepts the ball, and the very next play, check out the trickeration from Lakeside. Walcott to Morgan to his fellow receiver, Jonathan Prather. He takes it 76 yards to the house for a touchdown. Rams would lead 35-34 at the halftime break, but get this, they dominate the second half, shutting out the Lions in the final 30 minutes. Lakeside wins it 56-34.
All right, we're going to stick in the 5A and head to the building that everyone's playing to get to, War Memorial Stadium, home to the Parkview Patriots. Remember, Parkview has won 3 straight 5A state titles. Not quite as dominant this year, though, trying to make it 4 straight. Starts by hosting Maumelle. Patriots strike first. Quarterback Montreal Thompson to Carmelo Johnson. He stretches across for a touchdown. It's 7-0 Parkview, and Patriots look like they're just going to roll through this one at this point. Dallas Bledsoe finds his way through the defense, breaks arm tackle after arm tackle, jukes his way into the end zone. It's 14-0. Here comes Maumelle, though, just before halftime. Levi Warrior looking deep to Christian Jackson. He hauls it in for 7. That was the only score on the day, though, for Maumelle. Parkview wins 28-7.
All right, let's go up to the Class 7A now. Cabot hosting Springdale in a rematch of a round 1 game from last year. Big play here early, a 4th and 1. Short quarterback sneak is converted and more by Carson Hayter. Hayter takes it all the way in for the score, 10-0 Springdale. A little later, Panthers needing a response. They get it. Maddox McCrory threading the needle to Aeneas Arnold. Arnold walks into the end zone. That cuts it deficit to 3, but all game long, the Panther defense just struggling to slow down that man right there. Hayter with another rushing touchdown. He had himself 4 of them in the first half. And then how about the trick play to end the first half and pretty much put this one to bed? Hayter to Albert Burge. Springdale wins big, 55-31. Cabot's season comes to an end.
All right, the other team from Springdale Harbor, making a trip to Central Arkansas, taking on Little Rock Christian, and that's Eli Robinson. Getting the snap, taking it right in the end zone, 7-0 Warriors in the early going. Next is Reed McAllister, though, for Harbor. Trying to get his way into the end zone. He does. PAT's no good, though, so Little Rock Christian holding on to a 1-point lead here, and Jackson Ward responds. Look at the blocking, runs right up the middle, untouched, to build that lead up to 14-6. And then Eli Robertson, this time through the air to Jackson Ward. He scores again. Big night for him. Little Rock Christian holds on to win 44-34.
All right, a lot more to come here on the Friday Night Blitz. We will do a speed round of all the plays and scores from around the state and head down to the pit. All that and more when the Friday Night Blitz returns.
You're watching the Friday Night Blitz on CHG 11!
All right, welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. Tyler Cass, Nick Luttrell. Regular season is out of the way. It is playoff time, and we saw a lot of great games here tonight on the Friday Night Blitz.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the playoffs is seeing matchups that we might not see throughout the year. You know, we see things back, months ago in the non-com, but everyone's just kind of getting ready for conference play. Then all of a sudden we get to see teams play outside of their own conference again, and this time with everything on the line. That was the case in Saline County tonight. Bauxite hosting Ozark, and that's where we found Carter Thweet.
One thing you're quickly going to learn in these highlights, Ozark loves to run the ball, whereas Bauxite, they can air it out a little bit. So which approach is going to reign supreme? Let's find out in our highlights.
They call it the pit. It's where Bauxite plays their home games, but it's also where one of these two teams is going to be ending their season. There are the Ozark Hillbillies, and early on we see why they don't pass. Bernie Fox is going to pick this pass off and take it the other way for Bauxite, and then the Miners are going to show you why they do pass. Wyatt Foreman, the freshman quarterback, hits Cole Witherington. It's 7-0 to the home team, but this Ozark side can really run the ball. The big fella, number 0, one of the easiest touchdowns I've seen, just waltzes in, and then they're going to do it again with John Skolarski. These guys were running out of the triple option all night, looking really, really good. Bauxite says we can do it too. Wyatt Foreman, freshman quarterback, only stands 5'7", but he plays larger than life, and this is what I'm talking about. Heads right, nothing there, cuts back. Foreman gets a block on the edge. He's coming for me. I was a little scared on that play, I'll admit it, but he stays out of the way and he gets a good run, and then he's going to give it to Caden Metzger, who takes it to the end zone. 21-12 Miners, and they would hold on to that lead. It was close, but Bauxite advances with a 28-26 win.
All right, over to Joe T. Robinson, 5A Central champs hosting Camden Fairview. They actually trailed at halftime 14-10, but second half, after taking the lead, you see right there, Damon Sally with an interception. Deuce Williams goes straight up the middle, turns on the burners. Robinson comes back to win. They'll get Farmington in the next round.
Been a tough season for Pulaski Academy, and that showed here tonight at Fayetteville. The Purple Dogs intercepting that. And yeah, taking it all the way, a 100-yard pick six for the Bulldogs. They win big, and they'll have a tough challenge next week against Bryant.
All right, we will stick in the 7A. North Little Rock on the road at Bentonville West. Tie game, 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. North Little Rock, though, scores the go-ahead touchdown, but then 40 seconds to go, Bentonville West ties the game. The all-important extra point, it's no gimme in high school. That gives Bentonville West a 1-point lead, and then one last gasp. North Little Rock down 1, 5 seconds left to the end zone. Intercepted.
Oh, the flag.
Yeah, I know. Wide receiver's on his back. Bentonville West pulls it off. They head to Conway next week.
A heartbreaker there for North Little Rock. All right, to the 6A, Lake Hamilton and El Dorado Wildcats. A big touchdown here to end the first half. They win big. They will head to Shiloh to play the Saints next week.
And over to the 4A, Mina on the road at Hamburg. Hamburg trailed by 7 early, but who else? Man they call man. Nikel Lewis adds to his Arkansas single-season rushing touchdown record to tie the game. Hamburg goes on to a big win.
All right, Malvern at Darnell. Quite a season for the Sand Lizards. Quite a season for Creed Vega and the weapons they got there for Darnell. They win, and they will advance to play Hamburg next week.
Poen at Gurdon. Poen down early, but hopping in for a touchdown here to take a lead. And it's the Indians holding on for the upset, winning by 3. They'll take on the winner of EPC and Conway Christian next week, and call that foreshadowing.
Yeah, Conway Christian and EPC, a rematch of last year's state championship game, but very different results. EPC taking care of business and getting the win.
All right, Morrilton on the road at Nettleton, and Jamarcus Sandage going to take this one to the house big time. 55-26 road playoff win for the Devil Dogs.
All right, we mentioned how crazy the 5A was. It continued its craziness tonight. BB in Hot Springs, the Trojans scoring a touchdown via Bishop Allen run there in overtime. The Badgers trying to pull off the upset. One last try for Ty McCormick and BB to make some sort of play, looking like Johnny Manziel out of there. Throws it to the end zone. Oh, but incomplete. Tough look for the Badgers trying to pull off the upset. Hot Springs, the 1 seed out of the South, survives and advances.
Back to the 2A, Ozark and Hector. Ozark touchdown here, part of an Eagles win. They'll take on Mineral Springs next week after Mineral Springs upsets a 1 seed in Hampton tonight.
We almost saw an upset in the 5A. How about the 4A? Helena West, Helena up by 4. Mills trying to score. The last play of the game is incomplete, but they would throw a flag. The Comets get one last chance at it again, and it's the sophomore Elijah Moody around the right side, scoring the touchdown and getting the win for the Comets. They survive on the last play of the game.
Oh boy, what a first round of the playoffs. I'll be honest, I was kind of being a little trepidatious here because a lot of time in the first round, we do see a fair amount of blowouts. Not the case tonight. We had overtime. We had a literal last second touchdown there for Mills. All kinds of great ones abound. So here's what you're going to do. If you missed anything, text the word scores, just the word scores, nothing but the word scores, to that phone number, 501-376-1111. We'll send you a link to all the final scores and highlights from tonight.
You're watching Friday Night Blitz on THV 11. Go Panthers!
All right, and then back to football talk. The Battle of the Ravine, of course, happening tomorrow afternoon. No college game day there, but we'll be there to provide highlights for it tomorrow on Hog Zone. Tyler, it should be a fun game between two storied programs.
Oh yeah, there's nothing quite like the Battle of the Ravine. This one kicks off at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. If you want to get there for the walk, which I recommend, Henderson will get dressed and walk across the highway at 11:15 before they play this one at Cliff Harris Stadium, home to OBU. And yeah, look, neither team playing for a playoff spot. Both coaches admitting this game kind of feels like a playoff anyways. All right, that's a wrap for us here on the Friday Night Blitz. Be sure to join us tomorrow night at 10. We're breaking down everything on Hog Zone.